Greetings, everyone! My name is Ettervale, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. Yesterday, the major update version 1.10 has been released. Long awaited, 8 years in the lifespan of the game, and we're here. Gosh, 10 major updates in the twilight years of this game, and still going relatively strong. So before I start covering Veersmith levels as I usually do, I'm going to be first going over all or most of the major, moderate, and minor additions included in this update. Also, as an important note, if you're updating from the game, please download directly from the website instead because we swapped over from 32-bit to 64-bit. Alright, I'm not going to go over the new backgrounds and tiles. I'll say that for someone else. Instead, I'll be going over stuff like the new enemies, gimmicks, etc, etc. So, let us begin first with the new weapons. See. First and foremost, Rush Marine! Yes, after what felt like decades, well, more like half a decade, we at last have the alternative to the Rush Jet, introduced alongside Mega Man 3 and 4, and unfortunately sidelined and overshadowed because Rush Jet, being Rush Jet, really allows us to move in water and other liquids, hold up while jumping to dismount. Hopefully in Maker we'll be able to actually design levels that make better use of its specific mechanics. As well as the Rush Bike from Mega Man 8. Ride around it at top speed, jump and press up, the same for a dramatic leap off. It was in Mega Man 8, but we got the most use of it out of in Mega Man 3, which, yes, I will return back to. The wire adapter from Mega Man 4. We don't have the balloon adapter alongside it, but maybe in the future. Cling onto ceilings with this utility. You can also raise and lower yourself with shooting too. Didn't have as much use in Mega Man 4, but as was shown in the trailer and teaser, there are plenty of scenarios where it could potentially come in use here, especially in regards to conveyor belts and a few other funny scenarios. Astro Crush from Mega Man 8. Unleash a powerful meteor barrage that hurts all enemies on screen, so a bit of a delayed screen clearing weapon, or attack everything weapon, so to speak. Thunderstorm, another kind of screen clearing weapon. Summon an icy vortex that damages everything in a wide column. Dash B, which is going a little bit off the text for some reason, although it could fit. Remote Mine, move it up or down and detonate whenever you want from Mega Man base. I forgot to mention this earlier, but welcome to the stream, Pixel Boy, Everything Edits, Whatever, Paul, Sunflora, Jedok, Tedley, Raccoon, Jay Butters, Lapatio, and anyone else who I missed on the list. Thank you for being such active members. Alright, those are all the main new weapons. Mostly excited the Marine. Let's see, let's move on to the new enemies. Sabotal, a cute cactus man, shoots like his thorns and moves away, can walk on quicksand. I don't exactly remember that from Mega Man 1. I think it may be from Powered Up. Nothing from 2. Nothing from 3. Wait. Yeah, they may have reordered this, so I need to double check carefully. Okay, nothing from 2, although 2 is already well represented. 3 has the Jameses, or as I like to sometimes call them Yameses. The bug that that freaking bug I hate. Climbs down and up my ladders and across my floors. And steals my pages. Oh, the reference. So yes, now we have an enemy who can destroy. And unlike the ladder presses, we can actually destroy them. Also comes in a spawner variant. Either yes, Mega Man 4. On the Mega Man 4 side, 100 Watton. A flying enemy, if destroyed, leaves the section dark for 9 seconds, as well as his counterpart, Dawnpan. When defeated, releases fireworks that nullify most types of darkness. Keyword most. From Brightman Stage in 4. Robot has a new color, you say? Or Atomic Robot. Yeah. Simple addition, but works. Powered Up in Oilman Stage is where that was introduced. Now, I don't count the sequel wars. I'm talking about just canon projects. Yeah, now the Marine actually has more use because Rush Jet isn't super broken like the Mega Man 3 one. I know it's still going to be outclassed by the Mega Man 4 and onwards Rush Jet, but I can think of a few scenarios which are better. Let me know if I miss an enemy. From Mega Man 5, we have nothing, as the text actually originated from Mega Man 6. Steps across ceilings and shoots downward, also works on floors. So, ceiling walkers. Brown. I know this enemy has already been there, but I just call them like barrel bots. I forgot they're called brown. I'm gonna get to the mid-boss in a second. Where's the neoclassical cannon? Ah yes, Mega Man 10. Neoclassical cannon. A cannon that fires explosive orbs at you can be on the ceiling as well. There are several types of cannon enemies that sometimes forget where they originate from. So that's all the regular enemies, and last but not least, we have a new mid-boss, Van Pooken, from Shade Man Stage in 7. Powerful gourd-shaped mini-boss can be defeated in 2 different ways. You can defeat it by shooting the eyes or the center, and depending on how it gets destroyed, it may open up different paths or what have you. Alright, now time for the new bosses. For Mega Man 1, we have Gutsman. It's Gutsman! Doo-doo. Flings boulders and makes the ground quake with each of his jumps. I'm kind of surprised he made it in here, but he's one of the classic original set. Now we just need to have, let's see. Now we just need Elect Man and Bomb Man, not Bomb Man. Cut Guts, Ice, Fire, Bomb. Okay, we have more. Now I just need Elect Man to complete the original set. And I guess Oil Man too. For Powered Up. For Mega Man 3, we have the additions of Snake Man, the king of uneven terrain. I deal with better search snakes. Releases snakes which travel across walls and floors. Along with Shadow Man, the ninja. The one of the first RM bosses who forced you to slide. And a bit inconsistent, but we'll put aside as asides. I'll get to that enemy. And Mega Man 7, Gammarizer. I know it's a Fortress boss, but I'm happy it's here, but I'm kind of... It feels kind of like a wildcard pick. Like, if I was going to include Fortress bosses, the next one I'd probably do is more like... Well, the Mecha Dragon has its issues where it is. Maybe the other Yellow Devil variant. A bunch of the Fortress bosses from Mega Man 4, 5, or 6. This... I don't know. Probably not, because they're not really canon. They're canon in the source. They're canon in the archives, but not quite this way. Gutsman's Wily's favorite child. Indeed, he is. Say, I missed an enemy from Mega Man 11. Let's see. Oh yeah, the tank oven. Heavily shielded enemy only releases weakness or reveals its weakness when its tank opens. I keep forgetting this enemy exists. Depending on whether it actually maintains this charge shot weakness from 11, this may be quite a formidable opponent or a bit of a roadblock. Yeah, I'd rather have the Guts tank as well. Like, again, I don't mind the inclusion of Gammarizer, based on Gamera, of course. But, I'd pick other recognizable Fortress bosses before it. I understand, for example, not including the Mecha Dragon initially because its movement, the chase can cause some issues, potentially with the level design, but there are mid-bosses which can happily fit in a relatively square arena. With some fiddling, I guess. Even with a little bit of fiddling. And Pukin has a watermelon skin, you say? That I want to see. Oh yes! Thank you, Devs, this is perfect. Banned watermelon. I'm not gonna check out everything that's new, like, I'm not gonna check out all the new color variants. Someone else can do that in a more edited video, but for now, yeah. Alright, see you around, Tedley. I'll be covering out your level. I'll be covering one of your level packs tonight. Guts tank could be implemented in a square arena, although it's, You wanted the Succubat graphic, so I'm gonna show it. I can remember which game it originated from. Seven, I guess? No. Yeah, 8. Green or blue? Alright, we went over the bosses, enemies, weapons. Now, on to the other major parts of this thing. The update, new gimmicks. Let's see. Okay. We have the GB5 cans. Bit of a random addition, but it should fit with the other trash blocks. A sturdy can from Alien Facility. I wonder what's inside. Beat Rescue Spot. Tells Beat where to draw the player. Yes. Alongside the other utilities, we've at last have Beat Rescue to save the player. If you put this here, whenever you get rescued by Beat, it'll drop off the player, aka you, at the spot. I can already think of some kinds of traps because of that. If this doesn't exist, you have full control over Beat where they'll spawn you. And you get the Beat Rescue by picking it up. True on the new pickups. Speaking of new pickups, where is plushies? In terms of new plushies, we got Gravity Man, Elect Man, Gemini Man, Fireman, Bomb Man, and Jewel Man. I wish there was a better way I could navigate through all of this, like bringing up a menu. Huh, so apparently we already had the cans. I neglected about that. Alright, back to pickups. I don't know why music's not playing. So let's play some more music in the background. Oh yeah, music, we actually have a bunch of we now have a bunch of tracks from the X series and a few from Zero and ZX. Didn't really expect that, but hey, I've already been playing a lot of this during the modded times, so sure. Alright, here's what I was looking for. It's actually under pickups. Key spawner, which gives keys as long as the last one was used. Probably because like a shop. The beat spawner, where it corresponds to the beat rescue. The Pierce Protector. When I say Pierce Protector, it corresponds to this. It's a Prickle Barrier, or Spike Guard. You can collect up to 3 of them, and it'll protect you from taking lethal damage from a spike. Thank you. Here's the regular Beat Rescue, which spawns from this. And lo and behold, ability capsules. Oh my goodness. And its corresponding remover. Because every villain has a soft side. Remember several years back when I talked about the weapon pickups and how awesome they were for changing up the stage flow and for non-linear and Metroidvania game design? I also talked about including stuff like the ability to change your max health or weapon capacity, weapon energy capacity, as well as being able to add or take away your character's abilities. Like Mega Man, for example, starts out without the charge shot and then you can grant him the charge shot, or roll without the dodge roll, or Proto Man with the Proto Strike, etc, etc. And now this adds it, or removes it. That is Wily's way. And look who it is! Alongside Beat, we got Eddie. Can be set to stationary moving. Hopefully the RNG is better than some in the base games. Oh. The Pierce Protector and Ability Capsule are what I'm really looking forward to. Beat Rescue, depending on where you fall, can be kind of hit or miss. Key Spawner, I don't know exactly how that's going to be used. Pierce Protector, thank goodness, because several sections need it, maybe. Although I already see a bunch of Kaizo scenarios being built around damage boosting, basically. Or most effectively using the Protector. And Ability Capsule, I just talked about how much I'm going to rave about. Alright, sorry for the sidetrack. Back to the regular stuff. Or should I say level objects. Let's see, wave pipes from Mega Man 5. Go in one way, come out the other. Pick your path by holding a direction. So like, tubes. Oh, you quit Discord? Or is it a joke? Snacktail. Cracking tiles. Place these on tiles to make them breakable with destructive weapons. Yes, so as an example... Oh boy, I understand the implications now. Oh my gosh. So remember when you had the distinct breakable blocks that you can destroy? Now apparently you can apply it to any tile. Like, absolutely any tile, and it's amazing. And, oh my gosh, just now imagine the precision aiming that's gonna have to be there. So, you can have dedicated blocks like that you can punch, shoot, destroy, move around. Now I can just set it to any tile, which now, well, seeing how many tiles there already are in Mega Man Maker, you know what the possibilities are. Wait a sec. Can you do the same to spikes? Oh my gosh, you can have destroyable spikes. Because spikes count as a tile. Hang on, I'm trying to see the implications of this. Can you destroy water too? Hang on, I need to check something. I need to see this. I forgot. Let's see the description again. I couldn't blow that up yet. Oh, I need destructive weapons. So, base Mega Buster won't work. I need something explosive. In this case, something that would work would probably be like the drill bomb. Alright, take two. Oh, welcome back, Tedley. That's not it. You said power adapter? Sure, let's try that out. Oh! All of it gets blown up at once? It didn't work on the spikes, I'm afraid. That's kind of a bummer. Anything that would break a breakable block. Sure, let's try Astro Crush and see if that works on everything. Well, it took out the cracked blocks, but I was kind of thinking that you couldn't do it to the water. That's fine, but not having breakable spikes, that's kind of a shame. I got excited for a moment thinking that I could break the spikes and maybe water, but it's understandable. Nonetheless, being able to set it like this, it's still wonderful. Maybe we can have a special type of spike that we can break, or we can glitch the game into deleting them. We were gonna make a Pain Nexus in Mega Man Maker. Don't we call them certain Kaizo levels already? Yes, I'm going to be playing MMDMA Revision 2 tonight. Alright, gimmick time. What did you say I missed from Mega Man 11? Mega Man 1? Oil canister? I was going to loop around to it because it's a powered up thing. But sure, I'll do it now. Oil canister. The solid object will block your shots unless you destroy it with fire weapons. So it's basically like the weapon blocks, but specific to just fire. Which fair enough, because weapon blocks only protect against one weapon. This protects against everything except fire weapons. I would like more of these elemental type of barriers. Like one for fire, one for ice, one for electricity, one for earth or explosive, etc, etc. I guess we have explosive from the cracked ones, but something more in universe. Let's play some more music while we're at it. Spark Mandrill. Back to Gimmicks, or as it's called here, level objects. Honk honk. The trucks from Nitro Man stage. Regular truck and big truck. Complete with the timings and whether they repeat. They straddle a line between enemy and objects, so I can understand them being here. Let's see, where are the Tomahawk platform? There it is. Oh! You can even configure how far it goes up and down. It's called a flying platform here. I'd call it Tomahawk. This is kind of major because now we have an easy way of having basic floating platforms that move up and down a bit. And you can change the speed to travel up and down. as well as their starting position, I guess. Direction, color, starting position, speed, and how far to go. Nice. I love these platforms. They're one of my favorite gimmicks in the 6, and they're kind of... their full potential was not explored there. Thank you, Zen. I'll do it after I cover the new example levels. So, continuing on. From 11, we have the Slap Hands. Flings you forward once the timer reaches 0. Shoot to activate it. From Bounce Man stage. To go with the balloons. Teleporter, or more specifically, the Mega Man 11 Challenge Teleporter, teleports you just one way, as opposed to the other teleporters, which are usually two-way, unless you use a glitch. I already showed the beat rescue spot. I don't know where the player block is. We'll see. You say there's one more new enemy in Mega Man GB. Sure, I could have missed something there. Oh, the Foolie. I honestly forgot that the Foolies existed as well, like most GB-specific enemies. Comes with a spawner. Shoots downward and slows down in your vicinity. He's no fool. So, basically a sky attacker, or aerial attacker, but becomes more precise when they get closer. Yeah, also Galaxy Man's teleporters throw you upwards once you get out of them, while 11s hold you in place. That's a very important distinction for certain level design characteristics. Like, you can use 9's launchers, but be careful when spikes are there. Okay, that's all the new gimmicks sans the player block, which I don't know where it went. It's in items. Ah yes, level objects. Or Maker in general. Character block checker. The site didn't call it the correct name. It should be player block, but someone didn't communicate here. Character block checker. A block that's only solved when using a specific character. So, in addition to having the health block checker, weapon energy checker, key checker, we got this now, so by using this, you can more easily segment the stage or separate a stage into different characters instead of having to rely on the character-specific movesets. Once again, I like this. It makes it a lot easier to build aforementioned stages and potentially reduces the chances of breaking levels. Thank you, Janok. I'm not going to cover the alternate skins like that. I'm not going into that level of detail. Okay, speaking of which, just two more things I do need to show. Impact Rail. A rail-guided moving platform. Includes springs and spiked versions. You can either have it not here or start with one. And the rail spawner releases a platform a certain duration of time, or you can start with immediately. So you've got the blast crate before. Okay, do we have that? Yeah. Because I almost forgot about this. We have the seesaw platforms from Blade Man stage. This is one of those gimmicks where it's depending on how it's going to be used, it's going to be pretty fun or pretty horrifying. And I know it's kind of a bit more polarizing, but I like it. I'm gonna say this, you don't need to remind us about every new skin, Jedok. We get it. I know I'm doing this kind of in a slapdash way of showing everything, but it somewhat increases engagement, and the way this is written on the website is not exactly organized as you would hope it would. It's kind of randomized. In any case, that's all the new gimmicks alongside the new pickups, plushies, weapons, enemies, and bosses. The new feature was the ability capsules and removers, but I put that under key in new pickups. It's not exactly a revolutionary new feature, but it's helpful nonetheless. The two things I didn't cover are the new backgrounds and tiles, and not all the new soundtracks. Plus, of course, all the various new skins for different enemies and gimmicks, what have you, but otherwise it's nice. The one last thing I would prefer Mega Man Maker to have before the last update, or during the last update, would be some method for stringing together multiple levels together. That way you can truly have a level pack of sorts. And when I say string levels together, at basic it could be like, once you finish part 1 it takes you to part 2. Or, if you want to be more complex, have it so that you can sort of create your own mini Mega Man fan game of sorts, where if you complete a level, it carries over your progress, aka E, M tanks, and what weapons you have, into the next one. Or maybe give it the option of choosing another set of levels after the first one. Yeah, probably a bunch of new decorations. Pretty exciting stuff. Nothing groundbreaking, but the new things I added are always well appreciated. Remember, we're kind of in the twilight years of Maker, so the number of shocking new additions or groundbreaking new stuff is gonna be more limited. Unless someone might be able to muster up all the robot power necessary. So before I move on to your levels, there are 4 new example levels that have been added. So we're gonna do them. And the game actually tells us they're new. It may have died with the previous version, but thank you. I'm gonna repeat my statement, just to make it clear. I am not gonna cover the new tiles and backgrounds here. I'm mainly just covering the major additions of everything else. Someone else can show off the new backgrounds and skins. Backgrounds, tiles, and skins. So first on the new example levels are Aztec Temple by Toxin G. Ooh, they're going places. Toxin G's levels always tend to be on the better side. And the fact that it got some new example levels added, it's wonderful. So based on the title, this is going to be showing off the new tech enemies. Wave platforms, oil blocks, or the oil canisters, the new met type, the wave platforms, etc, etc. Right, I can't go up. Ooh. Now the ability capsule. Yeah, it's okay, Buster. You'll have plenty of time to play around with stuff. While the coat of the new paint is fresh. Van Pumpkin! Okay, this example level is showing off new assets really quickly. But that's fair enough. Cool. I get to take the left exit. If this was more of a regular level, I wouldn't do this. I would introduce the gimmicks a bit slower. But it's understandable why they did this. Okay. This wasn't quite the way forwards. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. I was suspicious about something there, so I went back. I saw the pipe, but I wanted to be careful. Like, I thought something was off about that wall. Oh, come back! No, you stole my E-tank. Slow tomahawk platforms. It's kind of eerie seeing how slow they're moving. Mega Man 11! Spike guard. Let's see if I'm actually forced to use them. It's also kind of eerie how fast, or rather how slow you can make the wave pipe travel. Whoa. I should have thought about this for my stage. Can't damage me. You can though. Ah, shoot. Guess I did have to use it. I don't know if you can... Oh. Okay, that's an important note. These platforms are solid in the way that if you're on top of them and they push you into the ceiling, you get crushed. The wiki still has information about Van Pumpkin. You can still see that. Yeah, I was thinking with this shit. I was thinking that this worked like the one in the Mega Mix engine, or at least the one in 48 Hour. There, if you're on a if the tomahawk platform, if you're riding on top of a tomahawk platform and it pushes you against the ceiling, you fall straight through the platform. Here it's solid and just crushes you. Oh, I thought they were talking about knowledge base and I was getting really confused. No, there's no escape here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. We have infinitely regenerating health, but this is a sampler. It's a snake man underwater. We don't really need that. Of course, okay. Now we don't have it. Not to the same extent. Can't destroy their snakes. There are already plenty. Okay. For the first example level, which introduces or shows off the text, wave pipes, ability capsules, pretty darn good job. see, next up is Gutsman's Pipe-tastic Adventure by Handsaw. Nice avatar. See, I was thinking you were referring to the knowledge base because... See, I thought you were talking about Mega Man knowledge base because Buster brought it up, and the others referred to that. Arctic Blast! You know me, I'm grabbing that. Arctic Blast! As I was saying, yeah, the discrepancy between how I remembered atomic platforms and how they are here, that's something important to note. And before someone else asks, yes, I know it's a thunderstorm. I just love yelling Arctic Blast whenever I use it. Oh, hey Hornet Man. Yeah, when I said I showed off all the new bosses, I was lying. I forgot to show off Hornet Man. Rush Marine, yes! Did anyone point out that I forgot to show it off earlier? Seriously? I'm kind of baffled. Everyone was a bunch of people were pointing out very specific things in regards to enemies, and you missed one of the major bosses. Yeah, that was a screw up on my part. I totally agree. And before you ask Buster, saying that, you know, it's because of that game, still I'm kind of a little bit baffled because more specific things are pointed out. Like, one person pointed out the existence of Foolie, for Pete's sake. Well, I guess it's because you're not really as active with the general maker community. They asked Toxin because they are influential enough and they actively participate, for example, in Mega Marino streams. Meanwhile, you haven't really interacted that much with the maker community outside this stream, but this stream is somewhat disconnected from there. At most, my connection to the maker community is through you viewers, level designers, and I guess Mega Marino. To be fair, they got Toxin, and honestly, Toxin's a great pick. Hey Gutsman. I'm older than most of the people currently in chat. Probably. Well... Oh! Hop onto the wave pipe attraction. To To be fair, trying to gauge someone's age on the internet can be tricky, as you know, it doesn't really count for maturity. Maybe 10 100-linked ones so we don't break the engine. So yeah, a ride back through the entire stage, through the wave pipe. Welcome back. Imagine if we could glitch into that pipe from the start of the stage. Cool stage, but we kind of already have Aztec temples, so I would have preferred to focus a bit more on the other new stuff added. Hornet Man was nice, but he didn't really need to take extreme amounts of damage from everything. When I say everything, I mean just the Buster. Next example level is Marvelous Maritime by Chombi. Gamerizer. Turtle. Yes, Esperanto. Rope. Weather forecast for today? Flying meteorites. Falling meteorites. Whee! Yeah, the example level, I see what you're saying, J Butters. When the game, for the first few major updates of the game where there weren't that many example levels, it wasn't so bad. But nowadays, Imagine you're a new player playing this game for the first time in 2025. Let's put aside whether you're a newbie. Let's assume that you already played a few Mega Man games before and are interested in seeing this big fan game. You get over to the example level and then see 40 or 50 levels there with different names that aren't exactly explanatory of what they show off. But a lot of example levels do say are accurate enough to what they are examples of, but a lot of them aren't as much. And then of course there's the other problem is that, and of course there's also the problem of how some example levels are... Oh my gosh, the other guy I forgot about from Mega Man 7. The lobster mid-boss. I don't think it's actually listed under enemies. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the changelog forgot to mention that this exists, unless this is dumb. What is this called again? Can something. That's not even listed in the enemy changelog. And that's a mid-boss, for Pete's sake, that was shown in the trailer. Oops. See, the other issue with the example levels, in addition to the organization and them not being clear, which, okay, it's one thing for... Let me say this. It's one thing if you have a lot of levels and they don't exactly explain what they're going to be talking about or be featuring. I understand that because, you know, surprises. You want to keep the surprise a little bit. However, it's another thing if you have an example level and example levels are supposed to showcase how to use many of these assets in the engine. Not all of them, but many of them. And add on top of that how a bunch of example levels kind of overlap with each other. Unnecessarily so. And how many of the example levels from the earlier era are far lower quality than those in the later eras. Like in the example level, most of the example levels in the first half of the game's lifespan, they are lower quality compared to the ones in the second half. either in terms of length, what they showcase, etc, etc. Candy Jans, thank you, Tedley. Candy Crab. So for the example levels, what I'm going to do is include some sort of search feature or tag them with what they're actually showcasing. For example, with this example level, the major things that I would tag are Rush Marine, for example, Rush Marine, Candy Gans, the Watons in Darkness, Spike Guard, etc. You don't need to tag everything, but a few more things would be nice. Yeah, I'm not going for that. Hi. Right, it's mine. Oh, thank goodness, I thought there were spikes down there. The real question is when they're gonna add Battle Network songs. I mean, we started to add X songs and Zero songs. We might as well start adding stuff from the other parts of the series. Like, include the rest of the major Zero and ZX tracks, include Battle Network Star Force, heck, throw Legends in. Heck, be even more of a wild card and throw in some things like from the other side games. I want Woodfield Team from Mega Man Soccer, for example. Yeah, have tags for eras or for levels or level content creators. Gammerizer, underwater. Ow. Kinda strange to fight them like this. Oh yeah, water shotgun. Oh, yeah. Punch those baby turtles. Ow, ow. That hurts. Do. Goodbye, turtle. And away we go. Can you get Stunlock burn from them? Yes, but you don't take any other damage when you're being burned. Thank goodness, I think. Wily Capsule 7 Maker? Oh no. Not before the other capsules. Welp. So yeah, the command action is currently broken. Is it as good as Mega Man 2 Wily 6's music, J Butters? If this game had more people working on it, I would really advise them to well, if people were working on it and enough people were actually playing it who aren't newcomers, who are actually newcomers. Because if you're already experienced with the game, it's not so much of an issue, but if you're new to the game, What I'd advise the devs if they actually had more time, but we know they don't, but hypothetically, let's say they actually had the time and power to do it, I would strongly advise them to go back down the list of example levels and do some pruning and refinement. Not just on a navigation front and organizational front, but also legitimately asking, do we actually need this at an example level? And does it require, could it be merged with something else? Something like Crispy Kickin' Cayenne Chicken, that's cool. It's a funny level title that's somewhat accurate. But then we have stuff like the older Automata Forest, which, fair enough, it showcases the conveyor belts and the time stopper, but it's a little bit too basic. As a standalone level, sure, it's good, but here, example levels have to pull off more duties. Like, I don't mind if an example level isn't exactly good. The main purpose of these is to showcase their assets, so I'm okay with it kind of overloading the stages a bit. Anyways, last but not least, back to Toxin G with Teeter Totter Terror. Watch as a disorder first stage ends up being the favorite level of the episode. It's kind of difficult to compete with Toxin. Like, there's only really 2 or 3 people in chat. Oh, cool. There's only really 2 or 3 people in chat right now who can really compete with them. Ooh. That'd be Buster and you, J Butters. Yeah, grouping them by update would be one way to organize it, and I would like that. Squish should have walked behind. It didn't used to crash the... well, that's more due to a bug. I mean, fair. Sonic Amateur Games Expo 2025 is rapidly approaching, so you want to get that demo all set first. After all, it's going to be exposed to a much wider audience than usual fare. It may be just me and being nostalgic and growing up and having less time for stuff like this, whoa. But it honestly feels like the Mega Man classic fangaming spirit used to feel bigger it felt larger a few years ago. At least, okay, maybe not in the fan front, okay, maybe not in terms of the number of players who play the games, but in terms of... Oh. Auto elevator. But in terms of the number of developers who are actually developing fan games. At the same time, though, it kind of makes sense because the last time Capcom released a new Mega Man Classic game was Mega Man 11, and it's been... how many years? Let me quickly check. It's been 7 years now. It's been almost 7 years now, and since then, Mega Man... the only other original Mega Man game I can think of was X-Dive, which, well... you know my thoughts on that already. And after that, it's all compilation stuff. So that's why there's a bit less, there's a little bit less new fan game content. I'm just saying that's how it feels that way to me. It's not like a fully scientific breakdown or what have you. Let me down. Huh? What? Okay. Oh my gosh, hang on a sec. There's some interesting level design I want to take care of first. I understand why it wasn't done in 10, but I wish there was more uses of the seesaw platforms like this in Blade Man stage and the fortress. More so the fortress, but eh. Let me finish the stage and I'll give my abridged thoughts on X-Dive. I don't know if that'd be Rico's fanfic, but oh, this time we can't keep jumping on that. It'll take us into the lava. I think I like Toxin G's previous example level more, but this is also solid. More traditional. Ooh, nice shadow effect. Battle of the Blades. You even were nice enough to include the main gimmick in the boss fight itself. And the lights turn on after a short while too. Cool. Like, if this was a traditional level you sent me, yeah, it would be my favorite. Good job using the seesaw platforms. So that's the 4 new example levels added in this update. If I haven't made it clear already, clearly the best ones is either Aztec Temple or Teeter-Totter Terror. I think Aztec Temple works better as an example stage for showing off elements. Teeter-Totter Terror more as a traditional level, so they're in their place. Marvelous Maritime because of Marine Adventure. Gutsman's Pipe-tastic Adventure is okay, but it could have gone harder with the mechanics, I guess. Eh. Yes, and I still find it funny that they forgot to mention one of the major mid-bosses, and we totally forgot about Hornet Man / Honey Woman. Somehow we didn't forget about Foolie. Okay. Alright, let me do this in order. I'll put some music on because I want to give my thoughts. Okay. Oh, that's better. Yeah, focus more on Mega Man as being introduced to a bigger audience. To reiterate, it just feels that way to me, but in terms of the number of fan developers working on stuff in Mega Man Classic and adjacent, it feels like the number has shrunk compared to a few years ago. Well, when I say a few years ago, I mean pre and during COVID, which is understandable for everything that was happening in the real world. More important things happen in the real world. And as for less important things, well, the last major Mega Man game that was released was 11, or X-Dive, and all the compilations, which, although being good, and I really appreciate the X collection, X Legacy collection, 0/ZX Legacy collection, and the Battle Network collections, they're not new games. There's some new stuff there, but they're not new games. I understand why they're mostly classic fan games, as Mega Man Classic is the easiest series to make fan games of. The graphics are the least complicated throughout the franchise, and the overall design is a lot more concise, so to speak. That being said, we have had major releases in the not too distant past. See, for example, Magmal Tree, which I haven't even beaten, and that's like a 50 to 100 hour experience if you're going for 100%. Like, that has the content of at least... like, if you want to be elucidative, Magmal Tree has a content of 25 to 50 Mega Man Classic, of 25 to 50 regular Mega Man Classic games and /or fan games. It's that insane. Even more so if you replay stages for better times, scores, and go for some other secrets. But again, it's understandable. It's understandable why there's shrinkage. There are still players playing it, and I already see on a daily basis new people getting into Mega Man or Mega Man fan games in general. But compared to something like Sonic and Mario, this seems like a noticeable downshift, but that's me. Yeah, with 9 and 10, the design was more so to emulate the older games, more so 9. So most of the level gimmicks are treated more as set pieces than used for complex design, which is reserved for the fortresses. Which, fair enough, it's just that I prefer the more cohesive design that is very well showcased by 11. Again, it's kind of like the filter bubble or content bubble effect, where if you spend enough time in only a few places which don't really penetrate into or have crossover with other communities, it can feel quite isolating and feel like new stuff is just drying up. I think it's more the case of a lack of new official content and support from Capcom that's really putting a damper on new stuff being created. But that's just me. The series is currently in hibernation again. Sort of. One sec. I'll be back for... let me get a sip of water and I'll talk about next dive. And I returned. Alright, as promised. Hopefully you're still here, Buster. Time to talk about X-Dive. My overall thoughts on X-Dive is complicated. X-Dive is a simultaneously an enjoyable experience, but also kind of messy, or very messy. It's a 2.5D. It's a gacha 2.5D action platformer shooter. It's basically taking the graphics, polishing up the graphics from what was the XPSP game? Maverick Hunter X, repolishing up further, and using those models and placing into going through bite-sized levels, destroying various enemies across the franchise, trying to correct the data of stages across the entire series. And we get characters and storylines from all across the franchise, mostly focusing on X, of course, but we do stretch out into Zero in the classic series. And I really appreciate how it actually tries to pay homage to or directly reference stuff, even more obscure stuff, throughout the franchise. I'm not just talking about the characters you can play as, but more so, for example, the cards and some chips. Like, every weapon you can obtain in that game, or almost every weapon you obtain in that game, is directly based off of a boss or an enemy or something. However, it really feels like it was made by a team who didn't really produce a video game which at the time of release of recent time, which makes sense as the Capcom team that was assigned to make the game, make and handle it, their main experience before was porting games, and it shows. Like, take for example the UI. There was some really weird jank to the UI and lack of polish and smoothness that permeated the entire game. For example, it was rather difficult to figure out what to purchase on the shop. Like, in addition to being able to pull from banners, you could also just purchase character memories directly, except there's no alphabetical option in the shop menu. It was always just organized by date, which made things really confusing. And there was... As much as the game tried to push you to pull the lever, it didn't. The experience of getting to pull the lever was really rough. Putting aside the gacha elements, there was way too much filler in that game. Like, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about like the middle half of the game. The starting parts have story, the latter parts have story, major events, but then one third of the game feels like not much is happening. Like, we're just going through the motions to go through these stages. And even when we go through the stages, they're pale imitations of their originals, with their gimmicks not being used that much. Like, I understand the whole talks about what's filler or not filler, but if you just deleted the middle 1/3 of X-Dive, nothing much would be lost in the story. If anything, that also ties into my next point, where there are major story elements that are only revealed during the events. And when I say events, I mean time-limited events. And if you miss those events, well, you're kind of out of luck. You have to either wait for them to repeat in the future, or watch a YouTube video, because there's no summary given in the game itself. As a matter of fact, it gets worse, because if you miss those events and then you carry on the story where it would naturally continue on to, the game doesn't really summarize what happened before, assuming that you already know what's happening. This wouldn't be so much of a problem if this was just limited to side events, carrying over to, like, the side events covering side plots, which then get continued on by other side events. But no, some of the stories being showcased or explained in the side stories, they're part of the main campaign. I'm trying to find the names of those characters. Hang on. I understand. Rico, Via, they're fine. However, I'm trying to figure out the Apocalypse Trio. Yeah, with Rico, Via, and Ico, it's fine. However, with the three siblings of Droid Claire, Angie Petier, and Eratotier, their introductions are only handled in the events, and then you blow them up, and then they return somewhat friendly in the main campaign, and it results in some very discongruent storytelling. It's, like, I understand having side stories, but don't put the main story in the side events, which can't be replayed through or have a summary. I know, for example, some other gachas do have them, but at the very least, the better ones actually have summaries or allows you to play a trailer or video which explains what the H happened. And don't get me wrong, there are characters I like in X-Dive. For example, the main trio Rico, Via, and Ico. Via especially, because the way Via was introduced, it seems like it really seemed like he'd be a Zero clone. His design is a Zero clone, deliberately, and his personality initially was a Zero clone, or it seemed like it, but no, it was quickly revealed that that was always just a facade. He may be a Zero clone in design, but in terms of character, he's more like the big guy, and it's great. Like, he's like it's between the team Big Brother and Big Dad, it's great. That's why he quickly rocketed off to being my favorite character. But unfortunately, there is an offline version of X-Dive available, and many thanks to Capcom and Tycom for doing that. Really appreciate that, and wish more gacha games did something like that, while removing the gacha elements that really brought down the game in weird ways. I want Dragalia Lost back. Please, Nintendo. Side Games would be happy to do that. And X-Dive Offline released in 2023, but it's $30, and if you liked the game originally, it's fine. It's a fine price, but even if you were to extricate all the gacha elements, everything, and just focus on the core gameplay and story and the events which are now a part of the game base, which does fix my criticism. The base gameplay loop is just too simplistic. The jumping and shooting is fine and dandy, and I do appreciate the character progression and the many different weapons and characters to play around with, each with their own abilities. But by the end game, well, even by the mid game, balance gets it gets bad. It gets thrown out the window, and the jump and shooting gameplay does not get elaborated on enough. It does in a few scenarios, but overall it tries to be more on the basic side. Necessarily so because mobile game. But still, they could have done something more. Oh yeah, also strafing and being able to fire in 360, but I mean, the downloadable game has the skins now. The Bible game. Yeah, Hyper. I wouldn't say slightly worse, I'd say far worse, because it's... My problem with the main gameplay as in when you're diving, the platforming and shooty, too basic. Like, come on. They could have done more with that. I know X-Dive story is very silly. It's both heartwarming and kind of goofy at times. It's serious and kind of silly at times. I just wish it leaned more into that instead of 1/3 of the story just being nothing. Like, I can't... Stuff was happening there, but it could be easily concise into just one chapter. I kind of disagree with Buster's statement of being decent, not really a Mega Man game. To me, it's a watered Mega Man X game that is, oh, it's a watered down, messy Mega Man X game with a heavy focus of gacha, the overall gacha loop, and it's okay. I would use Crystal Snail. But again, that's me and my complicated thoughts on X-Dive. Would I recommend it? I played and beat the main campaign and did a whole pull during the shutdown. All in all, no. If you want to play a gacha game, there are far better ones out there. Sorry. Even for a gacha game, it's terribly mid. You didn't really miss much, just watch YouTube videos of the story. Anyways, with that 15-minute diatribe aside, let's walk into another one with Jay Butters. I would disagree with Pokemon being a gacha game because you don't spend money for most of the games. You don't spend money for extra pulls in order for the chance to get a better trainer or Mon. There are random chances, sure, to catch the Mons, but you aren't spending extra money for that. Otherwise, you could argue that every RPG game with random drops would be a gacha game. Now, there are Pokemon gacha games. One clear example is Pokemon Masters, but eh. Like, a game or a series having random... A game or series focusing heavy on the random number generator isn't necessarily a gacha game. Gacha goes way further than that. Yeah, Card Tour was a gacha and they removed many of those elements. I think in the case of the weird route, it's it could be the case that the soul is too powerful, or asserting itself too much, or them getting resigned. But let's see if Buster hears what I ranted about earlier. Anyways, let's actually go back to levels, please. This is Mega Man Maker 1.10 reveal, not Mega Man Maker 1.10 and Knuckles and X-Dive. So, for our first viewer submitted level of the day, we have Rocket Fortress 3, Epoch Split by Sunflower Azumarill, 27 plays, score 7. Let's do this. Go, go. Oh my goodness. This is awesome. In the last major revision of the game, I think 1.8 or 1.9, they drastically sped up the loading times of the game. And now with this major revision, they actually show on screen what they're actually loading. And with the constant help... The... Drat. Wait. Haha. And by showing... Oh, yes or no, question mark or no? Yes. They actually show what's being loaded into the game. And with that constantly increasing percent bar, that means it's a lot easier to tell if the game is actually doing something instead of being frozen. No, wait. It got loaded off to the wrong side. Let's try it again. Of course, it's on the other side. Yes. Yeah, you know what, let's start this from the beginning. I took too much. The thing about the loading bars is that we can now see what the game is actually trying to load, which is, and with the constantly increasing percent bar, you can tell whether the game is frozen or not, which is especially important if you're playing this game on a weaker or slower computer. I'm playing this with a fairly powerful PC, so it's not too much of a problem, but for people who don't have the luxury or means for that, this can be a lifesaver, especially if you're playing through a longer or more well-furnished stage. Okay. I was hoping that was an alternate route. Yeah, I know of how random the EV and IVs can be. But I want to correct the record, despite all the randomization and tedium and arduous battles you have to go through in the Pokemon series mainline, as you're mentioning, that's not gacha. That's just the cruel nature of tedium and going through RNG hell. You know, like many other JRPGs. Pokemon, the genre is no stranger to that, especially in that era. You don't spend with money, you spend with time. Or just use a Game Shark. Or whatever we're calling it nowadays. Here's the thing, you only pay once. Oh, of course you can just argue that you paid for a one-time pass, but I'm not gonna make that. Ooh, we flip it. Again, so if we're gonna make the argument that's like a gacha like that, you would have to argue that many JRPGs are the same. That's... Okay, rotating the stage. Which I would disagree with. I mean, regardless of whether it's a gacha or not, it is tedious and painful. Yeah, you pay for it once to just start playing the game. That's it. In gacha games, they expect you to pay for every pull. It'd be one thing if a game expects you to just pay for it once. Well, let's put aside DLC for a moment. Or cosmetic skins, which I have rants about too. But it'd be one thing if the game expects you to pay for it once. It's another thing if it expects you to pay on a regular basis for an element that is not even guaranteed to pull the slot. Oh my goodness. Squish. And yes, I already pointed out Masters. Masters is being one of the exceptions in the Pokemon franchise that is a gacha. I am not going to repeat myself there if you didn't listen. Bye. Are we Delta Riding in here? Yes. I don't see. Oh boy. Oh, that wasn't so bad. I don't know what happened last time. Haha, rebound. I'll respond to your... But yeah, that's just my rant about the difference between just RNG and TDM versus gacha mechanics. Okay. Buffer. I mean, yeah, it does suck to be a Pokemon fan for a variety of reasons. Help? I'm just quickly checking something. I'm gonna move forwards. I have J Butters. I will do more of that game in the future. Maybe. But of course, it's an open world survival game, so that's more fun with friends. Oh my gosh. It's hot in here. Mario Mon I've heard a lot of cool things about. Why isn't that freezing? There a spawner. Beat. This was made at the tail end of 1.9. And what is equal to 1? Key. I see. Welcome to the purple dimension. Oh? Thought it's by accident. I am not going into the goop. Oh shoot, yeah, there's a bit of Delta discussion that isn't rot. Give me a sec. Is this intended? I guess? See, if I fall in here, I can't jump out. I have to use the wheel cutter. Excella? Hello? Uh-oh. So 1.10 broke the quicksand. Oops. Yeah. Okay, I have this many E-tanks, I'm gonna use them. Please, I can do it. Oh shoot. Ooh. Devil Eye jump scare. That isn't hard. Like, this is one of the easiest level yellow devil encounters I've seen in a while. Did this also get broken by the update? Now in blue flavor. Now in cool blue flavor. Is this intended to be this easy? Where I have several save spots? When I say save spots, I mean literally I could just stand there and wait. We've traveled from orange juice to blueberry juice. Suddenly water turns off. The stage itself was fine. I think I liked one more than the rest, but this boss fight at the end against the Yellow Devil twice, first in orange flavored, then blueberry flavored. Was it intended to be that easy? Like, if you can just stand there and the only danger is really getting sniped or whatever. It's even easier if you play as anyone with a projectile-based weapon, so... Well, Lauren does have a point. At least the Poke fans have a lot of fan games coming out. That have come out or are coming out. In fact, you're probably luckier than Mega Man. But, eh. Okay, responding to Delta Rot from Delta Butters. Good point about the inconsistency. If you're going to the pacifist or neutral routes, there's some more consistency, but if you go weird, weird PM things happen. Yeah, especially in the weird route, it feels like Chris... I know the player is pretty much malevolent in the weird route, but also Chris had kind of shoulders some of the blame because they're trying to protect their friends, but it's for the purpose of serving the greater goal of what is currently unknown right now, compared to actually genuinely caring about them. Like, I think that at some level Chris does care about Susie and Rousey, and at least a few of the Darkeners. But how much they actually care about them depends on the route. Like, in the pacifist route, they're most likely. Neutral to a lesser extent. Weird, I'm not sure. Like, they care about Susie for sure. They care about Susie and especially Noelle, but how much so? At the same time, this is counterbalanced by, as you pointed out, them wanting to hide the soul for some reason. But that's also a good question of why is Chris trying so hard to hide the soul and the true nature of it on any route? I can totally understand the soul refusing to reveal themselves or puppeting Chris in the weird route to not reveal who they actually are or the real existence, but in the pacifist route, why not? I think the soul will be all up for that. But Chris is the one who's holding back. We haven't really seen the soul be able to rip itself themselves out of Chris's body. Like, Chris has been able to remove the soul themselves, but not the other way around. Like, is it part of the plan somehow? Chris and the Knight's ultimate goal to do what is currently unknown? Well, when I say unknown, I mean there are some implications of what they actually want to do, but and yes, and even the Knight's behavior, even the Roaring Knight's behavior is a bit weird. Like, if they really wanted to begin the roar, if they really wanted to start the roaring, why didn't they try doing it in Chapter 1? Or before Chapter 1? It's not like they didn't have the power, as was evidenced at the end of Chapter 4. Something isn't exactly adding up, and it feels like there's some more ulterior motives happening. Yeah, I kinda miss the DIY Devils. But my main question is, why is Chris so adamant of not revealing the soul, even to their closest friends, especially in Pacifist? It would really help explain a lot of their actions and help resolve some of the tension. So I honestly think that they're too afraid. I either think it's because they're too afraid and Sashore is part of the plan. Yeah, it can't be the Roaring either, because the Knight could have done that ages ago. It's not like they gained some new powers. So clearly they need the fun gang alive. But why? Maybe not need, but they want to keep the fun gang alive. Like, we seen at the end of Chapter 3 that they could have easily taken out the whole gang if they wanted to. The Roaring Knight. And they could have just ended, they could have just petrified all of the Darkeners. Like, what if all they're doing, what if the Knight behind the scenes is just doing this to train, what if the Knight and Co. is doing all of this behind the scenes in order to train the Fun Gang in order to better fulfill the prophecy? To railroad them and train them to actually fulfill the prophecy to save the worlds. Like as a stealth mentor. We don't know the final part of the prophecy, but there are some big hints of what's happening. Implications that may or may not be contradicted by Toby. True. They could be following the prophecy, or if you're following one of the implications or foreshadowing for Chapter 4 in regards to Susie holding the Pen of Hope. What if Chris, Knight, and Co. is trying to rewrite the prophecy to their own ends? Curious and curiouser. Anyways, thank you for this Deltarune diatribe. Let's move on to the next stage. Second up is Hijacked Aquarium 1 Hour Challenge by Tedley. 17th place, score of 8. To remind you all, tonight I'll be covering the level pack Mega Man DMA Revision 2 by Tedley. I promised to do it for a while, so we're gonna do it. And then next Saturday will be Toxin G's level pack. Based on the title, I'm assuming that this was made within an hour. And I fall for one of the easier jumps. Woohoo! Yeah, what if Susie gets the soul? What if the roaring happened before? Asterisk. What if there was actually other cosmic horrors other than the Titans? Like, we talk about how the Titans are dark elemental. The fear of dark personified into those eldritch abominations. Is there an equivalent on the light side that hasn't been revealed yet? The angel does exist. Is it light or dark elemental? Or is it both? Or is it something else entirely? Are they even a being, or are they even a being, or are they a force of nature? Or some kind of phenomenon that we just personify by anthropomorphize in the prophecy? Thank you, Minubi. Your level's will be covered after this one, or later this stream. It almost looks like a smiley face in the background. A crooked smile, but a smile nonetheless. Uh-oh. I think I'm dead. If he just went forward, I would have won that. All I'll say about that is that the ending of the prophecy is not something that the Fun Gang wants. At least Susie and Rousey. And whereas Rousey will consign himself to fate, Susie's gonna fight as hard as possible to prevent the ending of the prophecy or rewrite it. If you're following the theory that the knight is in fact Des, who, after falling down due to X reason or another, drug. Like, I think it's confirmed that Chris, the knight, and Carol Holiday are in cahoots with each other. What if part of the plan is to being able to permanently resurrect Des? As it was established by Chapter 4 that it is possible to temporarily revive a fallen night nurse in the dark world. This stage was okay. I mean, subpar to okay, it's kind of a rompy stage, but it was only made in an hour, so what do you expect? Number 3 up is New Plushie Showcase by Jock74. 139 plays, score 78. There are just too many potential theorizing scenarios I can think of. Okay, Elect Man lights the whole place up. Bomb Man blows himself up. And the explosion does harm me. We can light up Fireman with fire attacks. Airman. Oh. Help. Put me back. Tornado Man plushie creates these helpful tornadoes. Gemini Man follows each other's in sync. No, Tedley. We already have a lot of levels by you tonight, so no thanks. Shooting Gravity Man flips the gravity areas. Fuel Man mimics the player's jumping state. When I jump, they jump. Hi Buster, welcome back. We had a whole discussion about my thoughts on X-Dive, Delta Rot, Pokemon RNG, and more about 1.10. I guess this is showcasing new plushies, but it could be more elaborate. Like, especially with bombs and Elec, but eh. It was rushed out anyways. Board up is Autobahn. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Give me a moment. Okay. Board up is Autobahn, Limitless Speedway by Zen, 20 play score of 10. Yes, X2 intro stage. Alright, Okay, unceremoniously fall in the pit. Alright, let's do this for real this time. By using the rush bike as intended. Oh no! Pfft. Should have not jumped there. What would I pick? Piranha Plant or the bomb? Bomb? I still take knockback damage if I get hit though. No! It's not like Mega Mix where if I take damage, I lose weapon energy instead. Come on, Eddie. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's actually kind of funny. Why did none of the example stages actually showcase Eddie? Or the Beat Saber? Like, two of them introduced, two or three of them used the Spike Guard, but at least showcase the Beat Saber. Well, Pierce Protector, but, you know. This is retain this run button from Mega Mix. Right down there. Oh, there's Beat. I'm out. Ow. Hong Kong, or even a stage that showcase this, like, there's already space for one more level there, but then we're gonna get into rant of what I think about the example stages again and the other issue. Well, okay, I didn't really talk about it, so I'll do it here. My other criticism about the example stages, other than the quality or how they showcase their elements, is that, a consequence of the get out of the way blockage. A consequence of the crossover between the example levels is certain important new mechanics introduced in the game or major new content additions don't actually get examples showcasing them, even when there easily could be even when there's easily a level we could showcase them. And you would think for an example level you do want to showcase stuff, like most of the major things introduced in your content updates. Wait, Piranha Plant is grass flying? Oh shoot, you can also slow me down. That's what the description was saying. Ow. No, you ate my input. Save me, Beat. right into the truck. Nope, there's no run button with this bike. Or speed up button. Which means that the Mega Mix version is a lot better. Ooh, new boss team. Battle of the Bikers. Not a good bike for this. That's alright, San. My more criticism has to do with the Rush bike itself, which is fine, but with how the way is designed, you can't really make the best use of the bike itself because of the medium durability enemies and the platforming. Now, if this is more like the Rush bike from Mega Mix, then sure, it worked perfectly, especially with how with the speed up button as well as any damage being taken just being subtracted from your life. Not your life, from your weapon. Here, if I'm riding on top of the bike and take damage, it kills most of my momentum and I get knocked back, stopping me. In Mega Mix, I just barrel right through them. I much prefer the latter one. I much prefer Mega Mix's system as it keeps the momentum going. And the Mega Mix bike also turns quicker. As an example, see? That's the main thing that really diminishes my favoritism of the Rush bike here. I wouldn't mind it. See, I don't mind so much if I take damage from using the Rush bike and I hit something. That I'm okay with. What I do mind is taking damage and also it killing killing most, if not all, my momentum, stopping me dead in my tracks. Or close to dead in my tracks. When I'm using the Rush bike, at the very least, keep my momentum going, but subtract the health damage from my health. Or, I'd prefer it subtracting the damage from the weapon bar, but yeah. It still eats ammo? Let's see. Okay, it does eat. Okay, good to know. Still doesn't really resolve my biggest problem with the bike here. Like, I don't care if it actually subtracts the damage from either the life or weapon energy in the end. The biggest problem is taking the knockback and killing momentum. The Mega Mix version doesn't have the momentum killing feature, and that's what makes it so much better. I understand that can be very broken, but it also makes them so much more fun to use. Because otherwise the Rush bike then becomes very situational. Oh, is this Trap Phantasm, or... Trap Factor. Goodbye. Wait, let me check the name. Epic Strike. I need to check, Factory is from ZX, Phantasm is from ZX Advent, which I haven't played yet. I think it's Phantasm as I don't recognize it because, I didn't really play the game. Let me check. Moment of truth, it's... Huh? Where is it? Boss music, okay. I've seen it more used for stages as well that I think of that way. Happy new update, everyone. Alright, let's see. Special. Trap Factory. Buster is correct. And just for a comparison, I'm gonna play the original Trap Factory stage team. So Buster is correct. Trap Factory. And when I say correct, I'm being wrong. Congratulations, take your trophy. So in reality, the ones who got it correct the first time around were... Jedok and Jay Butters. I think the remix is fine, but, you know, it's subjective. As for the stage itself, well, I think it'd have been a better use to Rush Bike because, again, this is not as good as a Magma 1 or Mega Mix 1. You corrected me about... Thank you for correcting me in regards to take the damage being sent directly to the weapon energy. But that doesn't really resolve my biggest issue of, for one, taking damage kills most of the momentum. And two, the turning speed is a lot worse. One of the fantasies of using the Rush Bike is being able to barrel through a bunch of enemies and use the speed up function if it's added there. If you're wondering why I looked for the stage teams for that instead of the boss teams, that's because of mods in Maker which used it as a level team more than the boss team. If it didn't, hi Omega Light. If it didn't lose momentum in Mega Man 8, and it was carried over to Mega Mix, why does it lose momentum here? You have to understand that in most stages, using the bike is not really recommended due to how its momentum system works. It is fun to use, sure, difficult but enjoyable, but you don't need to make it hard to use. And besides, if you take damage, it reduces the time you can spend on the bike, so you have to be careful so it doesn't run out when you're right over a pit, and then the bike explodes. Fifth up is Keep on Your Toes by Manubi. 18 plays, score 0. Oh no. Wow, body slammed into the pit. The disrespect. I can reset the bombs by jumping high enough. No! I mistimed it. Reset. Initially going to this, I thought I had to carefully manage all my bombs, but I can just easily reset them this way. G freaking G. Is this the pain excess? Far from it. It's a simple fight, but you do have to keep on your toes. And we do play as base, so it's not too much of an issue. Like, I can understand why I got a negative score, or 3 downvotes, but at the same time, it's not really that tough. I'll favor upvote. Next up is MMU 14. Barbed Man, Prickly Property by Neko Dave. 7th place, score -1. Just a sample. These are sample levels, so this is just a sampler for something else in the future. Welcome to the Spine Zone. Look, spikes. Fire because explosion. Fighting because they control hands. Shoot, should have held right. Welcome to the Monsteropolis Museum of Spines. I wouldn't use this background, to be honest. Turning. For a toss, that's fine, but the background is, Sunley conveyors. I could just walk there, but why would I? Safer. Needs more spikes. Wily ponders. Oh my goodness. The hitboxes on these spikes is a little bit smaller than the other square hitboxes. Checkpoint, glorious checkpoints. The background would be better if spikes came out of it. Good point. Not enough spikes for the Nexus, I'm afraid. And it's only really like 3 types of spikes. We don't even have all the spike gimmicks involved either. Like, where are the X platforms then? If this is truly the Spike Nexus, or True Spike Museum, we should have that. I'll go explosives. Hi Roger, welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. Oh boy. I'm not supposed to have these either. I'm only supposed to have the Mega Buster. And the Quick Boomerang. Boss fight at the end wasn't too tough, and I appreciate involving the main mechanic down there. At the same time though, having these safety platforms, maybe remove the middle safety platform, as that takes out quite a bit of a bite from the boss arena. Then again, if you do remove it, it's, save it until you finish the entire pack, Roger. It'll be better that way. Tedley, if you're watching, can you provide one of the level IDs for one of the stages in MMDMA Revision 2, please? I repeat, Tedley11, if you're watching, can you please provide one of the level IDs for your level pack MMDMA Revision 2, please? Just want to make sure. Okay, it's listed as MMDMA Max. Got it. Alright, if you're using Quick Boomerang, I see a problem. If you use the Mega Buster, sure, you can rule the middle platform, but if you're using the Quick Boomerang, it's still doable without the middle platform, but oh my goodness, that's gonna be a difficulty spike, so I understand. Well, for the museum or building of spikes, it was fine. Like, nothing really special with start out of the stage other than the rotating blocks, bell ringers. Otherwise, it's eh. Alright, this was sent by Raccoon for another person. Error. This level doesn't exist. Sorry. Okay, just settling something. I think you've seen enough of this video or stream, so let's end off with this stage. 582 70708. My last thing to take a note about Delta Rot theories, or Delta theories, is that what if there's more than one Roaring Knight? Or multiple people taking on the persona of the Knight. Just food for thought. Anyways, so the final level I'll cover in today's stream would be Pumpkin Mountain by Evil Panda, 115 plays and a score of 51. Star Walker can't be denied because they're Darkner. Wire Adapter, another thing that really should have been having an example level showcasing some of its uses, but get Toxin G on that. Again, I understand. I want to make something very clear. I totally understand why certain assets didn't get example levels to showcase their uses. Because they're either straightforward or too basic, or self-explanatory, or well known. But then we have stuff like the Wire Adapter where players and those items may need some more guidance of how they could be better used. But enough of that ranting. Overall, this demo is more of a win. What if the night is just a condition the user can assume if they end up consuming too much darkness? That could work. I'd say that most of the update was a win, so yeah. Ooh, I like this remix of Tornado Man. I mean, would I like the one from Minus Infinity, the Wire version? Sure. Sir Pumpkin. I mean, if you ask me what my favorite version of the Wire Adapter is, it's of course the one from Minus Infinity, but of course it's not gonna be here. Wire broke into Buster's house and ruined his crops. Is this working? You're taking two... Explodes. The thing... Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. And yes, we can adjust the height with this. Ouch. So, if I get hit while attached to something, I'll get knocked off. So I can still shoot. No, let me out. So this time, turn the correct direction. See, this is a good example of what the wire adapter potential could be, even if it's limited. I'm dead, aren't I? Yeah. The wire nexus. Alright, how many nexuses are revisited? Yes! No! Thank you, Des, for allowing this to happen. This is awesome. Astro's Door would have also worked, but this is more enjoyable. The wire offset that's borked. I was waiting for someone to point that out. Yeah, it looks like it's being ejected from his head. Can you damage enemies using... Yeah, you can. Oh gosh, could this be a weakness for bosses? Goodbye. You're tall. I mean, putting aside the weird offset, the helmet adapter. Putting aside the weird offset with the helmet, the wire adapter, or helmet wire, I still think they should have at least had one example that will showcase part of it. And come on, we could have had space for it, and already 3 levels overlap with their mechanics. Here are the new example levels. Okay, now we get to fight you for real without just blowing right through you. Oh, darn it. You win. Mega Helmet has super glue and a wire. That's how it's work. Honey Woman is an alternate skin. Please, devs. Fatality. No, I didn't turn fast enough. Ocean Man isn't as well known as Honey Woman, so I can understand that, but please, get Honey Woman in. Bye. We're about to steal her honey. We should make Hornet Ma attack Plant Ma. And then Rule's card appears, and immediately gets turned into a card because they're trying to access the light world. Yeah, that was a fun stage. Please avoid using all caps, Roger. I didn't... You were pointing it out all along, Buster? Okay. When you were saying, just really look at it, I didn't think you meant it literally. I thought you were saying in a more metaphorical sense. I understand when people are excited in trailers and, yeah, hype moments, but when you're trying to yell to the dev team, that's not how you do it. Yelling isn't going to make it even faster, sorry. So alright, this concludes the overview stream from 1.10. Kind of, the introductory part to most of the new features is kind of jank with the Mist boss and the Mist enemy. And it didn't really cover the tiles and backgrounds that can be for someone else can do that. Overall, I see it more of another exciting win than a loss. Nothing new revolutionary has been added, but most new revolutionary things have already been added in previous major updates, so yeah, to be expected. Nonetheless, I do appreciate the ability capsules and removers. That is one feature I'm really very interested of. And of course, the different protectors. I know some people aren't so fond of the update, aren't as excited to update. We already have one of them in this chat. But overall, it may be that I have a kind of lower standards, but this is effectively a live service fan game. Two words I never expected to be put together and saying it out right here. For a game that's 8 years old now. Pretty much all other live service games are functionally... they're paid, or freemium, or gacha. Meanwhile, this is the extremely rare combination of a purely driven passion project done by fans of the series, being put afloat by due to the kindness or generosity of third-party server hosting at a low to no cost. And the devs are still regularly putting out updates. Well, semi-regularly, inconsistently, but still putting out major updates. And for that, despite the many criticisms I make on a weekly basis, I still have overall enjoyed my time with this game. Like, I still enjoy the hundreds, if not thousands of hours I've put into this game. And the 600 plus... and well, not 600, and the 760 plus episodes I've posted. Gosh, I never expected this series to go on for this long. I thought it'd be something like an MMO that would go that long, but no, this is clearly beating out Skyforge. And it certainly maintained its interest more than that. And DJ Butters, like, despite me kind of exaggerating okay, exaggerating some of the criticisms and frustrations. Overall, I'm shocked that they've been supporting this game for that long. Like, I thought they would have finished updating it like 3 or 4 years into the game. No, this is well outlived what most players and even the devs probably expected. Heck, it's even outlived the first Mario Maker, if we're talking in terms of why don't we have 2 yet. And yeah, they gotta pay for the servers. Again, when we heard about this game coming out, we thought that we had to share the levels through Google Drive or Dropbox or OneDrive, but no, we actually have servers that make the process relatively painless. So all in all, good job developers, and I continue to wish the best of luck to you. Overall, and if you're wondering, my favorite level of the episode goes to Aztec Temple, or Teeter Totter Terror by Toxin G. The Teeter Totter is a better traditional level, Aztec is a better showcase level, and I find it a bit more enjoyable, but if you're talking about pure gimmick basis and level structure, Teeter Totter Terror is the clear winner. And thank you to everyone else who submitted your levels today, it is really appreciated. I will continue on with Maker tonight in about 6 hours for Mega Man DMA Max, but before I close off the stream, I do have one last thing to do. It is time for the art showcase. So we saw most of the robot retake crew already. In addition to that, we now have Fawn, Temp, and Panda. Cool designs, kind of wide. Same problem of it being too busy for NES sprite limitations, or NES styled. Again, if this was 16-bit SNES styled, my criticisms would drop immensely. Wow, you're looking into the future, J Butters. You want to eliminate with Maker 2 now? Okay, for another set, Fungus Woman. Excuse me. Fungus Woman. Pot Man. Boss Man. Gorgon Woman. Oh! Why is this suddenly so blurry? What happened? Oh, okay, I see the problem. It's taken directly from Blue Sky. Hang on. Let me go to Blue Sky and get that one. Better quality. I mean, if it doesn't support transfer PNGs, you can at least put a black background. That would suffice. And again, Pixel Boy, we've gone over this. I don't know if you're watching. The reason why Mega Man's hands here are cyan is because it's a slightly different take, and I think this is a gender swap to Mega Man, so Mega Woman. Anyways, better design, Podman, Fossman, Gorgon Woman, wow. Props are really shaking up the general body types or body structures of the RMs. Like, typically in the Mega Man Classic games, most RMs fall into 3, maybe 4 body types, but you are really bucking for that trend. With different heights, sizes, and even forms of locomotion. Like instead of Snake Man still having legs, Gorgon Woman has the snake tail and slithering body. And because of her increased sprite size, the busier sprite doesn't really bother me as much. It would have to be simplified. It would have to be a bit simplified a bit, especially with the snake hair and maybe the tail textures. Otherwise, it's cool. Pop Woman, Green Man, Razor Man, Hero Woman, Fuchsia Woman, or Fortia Woman, Neva Man, Bubblegum Woman, Nebula Man. Ooh, he almost looks like he's out of Battle Network. Scrap Man, Hachi Woman, Balloon Man. Oh my gosh, J Butters, we found the Honey Woman's cousin. Like, she looks like a super souped up version of Honey Woman. Still, kind of a busy, the sprite is too busy for my taste, but impressively done. Maybe if the sprite size was 50% bigger or twice as big, I wouldn't be complaining as much. Part of the reason I feel this is busy has to do with how many colors are used in this sort of 8-bit sprite, but also the size of the sprite. Okay. Okay. I don't really have much to say about this, it's self-explanatory. In any case, thank you for submitting all of your art. It's really appreciated. And thus, this concludes the stream. Thank you to everyone who either submitted their art, submitted their levels, or simply participated in chat. It's thanks to your continued support why I continue to produce videos and stream. It's really appreciated. So, if you're enjoying this or any other video or stream on the channel, please rate, comment, favorite, and or subscribe, as they all help them out. Don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky and Mastodon as well, and join my Discord server, as I regularly post updates there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all around later.